Now, Chaz, with you being, what you said, 60 days or so out from your wedding day, this seems like a kind of fun way to put a bow on the show here. It's probably not the best way to start off a marriage. Here's Kaven Elizabeth, a photographer from San Diego, on TikTok.
I've photographed about 200 weddings at this point in my career, and I think I've only seen about 3 instances of having the groom smash cake in the bride's face. And the very first one that I saw that, the bride got cake all in her eye, basically ruined her makeup. She ran off crying. I didn't see her for like 45 minutes, and they are now divorced. So, yeah, I think it's probably not the best idea to shove cake in each other's faces unless you agree upon that beforehand.
So, Chaz, if that was something that you were planning on, you might want to reconsider that. When designing a retirement plan for couples, have you ever encountered a difference of opinions on how each one wants to approach retirement? And if so, were they able to reach an agreement?
Well, I think what's interesting, this is Nolan. I get to be the old man here to give some advice. So, my wife and I, we've been together since she was 14, so a little over 30 years together, and been married for 22 of those years, coming up as high school sweethearts. And the other thing that I would say is meeting with hundreds and hundreds of families over the years and helping them with developing their financial and retirement plan. It is very common to see the husband and wife have differences of opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that's why it's so important that both the husband and wife come in when they're sitting down with the financial advisor. Some things like, one of the people may be more aggressive and the other one may be more conservative, but there may be more concerns. The wife may be more concerned about how am I, helping with my kids and getting them through college or planning a legacy for them. Where the husband may be more concerned about how am I going to save for our second house that we want to have. And, when designing retirement plans for couples, just know it's okay to have a difference of opinion. What's the old Paula Abdul song? Opposites attract. Mm-hmm. That rings true. But I will back up a little bit. So I know, again, with the wedding, so the cake smashing, is that off the plan?
Duly noted.
All right.
It's off. No way.
So Scott,
I would agree with that.
Recently married, did smash cake?
No, absolutely not. I learned my lesson the first time.
Yeah, so I got married here in Perrysburg. I think we did a little bit on just the side, but I definitely knew not to smash cake at that point as well. I think, from things that are going out there and things that are out there in life, any tips, Scott, that you would give on, how to get the difference of opinion and each working on the same approach together?
Well, and you're spot on with that. I run into that all the time, especially when I sit down, even though I don't sit down necessarily to do investment work with them, but with health insurance, because you have the supplementary, you have the Advantage plan, and they differ in that. Let alone what are they going to do with money, right? Mm-hmm. And I think today's couples are a little bit different than the couples of many years past. Like when Nolan, you and your wife first got together and got married, you probably both have, shared accounts, and that's what happened. I think more today, I think a lot of couples have separate accounts. Maybe that one spending account, his money, like my wife says, my money's my money and your money's my money, right? So I think you run into that a lot, but I think it's very important, like you said, Nolan, I can't stress this enough. You need both people to sit down. They may not agree, but you need both people to sit down and to discuss it, especially with the finances. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't obviously been married yet, but I've worked with a lot of married couples, and maybe this is easier said than done. But I think one of the biggest things that a married couple can do is to understand how they think, how each other thinks and feels about money.
Yeah.
Because I think the way you think about money, are you a spendthrift or are you, a saver or just kind of just do whatever you want to do sort of thing? I think that does affect a lot of the financial decisions that you're going to have to make in everyday life. And so it's important, I think, to understand that. And as an advisor, we have a couple of tools that we can help our clients kind of, walk through and understand what each other's role are. Generally, we find that there are financial spouses and non-financial spouses. Mm-hmm. And so oftentimes we tend to gravitate towards the financial spouse because that's what we've chosen to do for a living. We love numbers. We love getting in the weeds with some of these things. But it's taken a long time and a lot of training to stop, and kind of focus the the attention on the non-financial spouse because their input matters just as much, and oftentimes that can be the decision that controls the finances anyway. Just may not be the person that's doing the numbers in the spreadsheets.
Yeah, one thing I will tell you, with my wife and I, she will lean on me for advice and help with investing. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to her money, spending her money, she spends her money her way, and I spend my money my way. But the investment part, she'll lean on me. So you're absolutely right.
Perfect.
If when you go and you click on the Meet the Team tab over there at arhq.com, you're going to see pictures of all the guys and a lot of titles there. One thing you won't find on there is marriage counselor, but there is a degree of that, I think, when it comes to developing a plan, making sure that the husband and the wife, the spouses are on the same page. Don't have to agree about everything, but obviously getting to, through, and beyond retirement together, there needs to be some commonality, as I said. So when you do set up a time to speak with the team, don't hesitate. Make sure that you're both there, and if not for every single meeting, at least for the majority of them, to make sure that it is a plan that is going to get you guys there happily and successfully. It all starts with that phone call, 419-794-3030, or the website, arhq.com. I want to thank you for joining us today, spending part of your day with us here on America's Retirement Headquarters with Nolan Baker, Scott Kirshner, Chaz Price. Please have a great week ahead of you. Be safe out there. Guys, thank you for the time as always. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with the final word.
Yeah, I would just say, on the end note, it is important, I think, if both spouses come in and do the planning process. If you think about it, money is just a tool to accomplish different things. And the main thing to remember is that it's not the money that matters the most in a relationships. It's really about what that money can accomplish with those goals and objectives. And that's why even if you're the strong one on the financial side, having both people part of the conversation is what you need to do. And that's what we're here for. So when you think retirement, think America's Retirement Headquarters. It's home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates. We'll see you next week, same time, same channel, right here on Toledo's largest talk station, 1370 WSPD.